Hello, my name is Richard Smitherman, student ID D000861000. Today is Speech 1 Demonstration Speech Key Outline and Demonstration Speech itself. This is for, I'm doing it on how to change your motor oil. Hello, I'm your instructor. My name is Richard Smitherman. This is my audience, Brooke, Juan, and my mom that's holding the iPad recording. Okay. There are millions and millions of vehicles that travel the streets every day. Streets, interstates, just everywhere and their owners are not aware of how important it is to change your oil. If you do not change your oil, usually the standard is every 3,000 miles or 3 to 5 months. Even if your vehicle is sitting up, the oil in your motor will decomposition, however you say that word, and it will not lubricate your motor, and then your rods and your spindles and all that just become rusted, and then it's just not good. Your motor will eventually give out. And if you're one of those who drives your vehicle every day, if you not change your oil every 3,000 miles or every 3 to 5 months, then you will also lose gas mileage, and you're wondering why you have such bad gas mileage. Also, it's like your automobile is kind of like your body. You need to feed it. If you don't feed it, then your body just breaks down, and your body will get very sick. So your body is just like your car motor, your automobile motor. It has to be fed. Okay. Also, the cost, the average oil change now going to a person is about $50. That is a lot of money. If you do that, $50 times there's 12 months in a year, times $50 times 4, that's $200. Doing it yourself, you spend half that, about $25 or less, depending on the cost of the oil and your oil filter. But let's just get started here. The first thing that you're going to need to consult is your auto manual, or your auto parts store technician would also consult you on this and give you information. You'll need to know the weight of your vehicle so that you'll know the appropriate jacking that you will need to jack for the jacking of your vehicle, to be able to raise it up to where you're not scraping your elbows up under there. And then also you'll need floor stand jacks, 2 jacks that go directly inward from the tires and support your vehicle. Also, that's also a very big safety thing. If your jack was to, let's say, fail, that car, the weight of that car, the average car weight is about 3,000 pounds. That's a ton and a half. So that weight is going to come down on you, for one, injure you, or even may result in death. Also, the type of everything that you will need for your oil change, you can go from your manual, or you can also go from your auto technician at an auto parts store. You'll need the type of oil that you will need, the oil filter, oil wrench, just any kind of good sized pan that can hold as much oil as is in your motor. Then you'll need of course the jack, the large jack that's going to hold your vehicle up while you're doing all this. Then your 2 floor stand jacks. You'll also need a couple of rags for afterwards to clean up. So just to start off, you'll need to park your vehicle on a level surface. Doing so will not allow the vehicle to go one way or the other. Plus, it's also a really good idea also for your oil to be able to settle levelly, instead of when you're parked like this, it's not going to come out all the way. It's going to stay in the oil pan reserve. Okay, so you place your vehicle on a level surface. Apply the emergency brake. This is very important. Once you jack your vehicle up, on most automobiles, the emergency brake applies to the rear of the car. When you jack the front of the car up, even in park, something can happen. Your gear could slip loose and your vehicle can roll, causing injury or death. Okay, once you have applied the emergency brake, You can then get out of your vehicle, raise your hood, take the dipstick or the oil stick, as some say, pull it all the way out, allowing it to, when you get under there and undo the oil pan bolt, it allows the oil to flow fluently instead of being caught up and just getting air, and it just takes a lot longer. So once you do that, you crawl under your vehicle, you make sure that everything is secure with your jacks, and make sure that everything is kosher, make sure that the vehicle is not going to roll back on you. Then you crawl up under there with you will need your oil pan, the pan that holds the oil. You will need your socket set. A standard set most of the time, a 5/8 or a 3/8 is most of the time what is the two main sizes. It does vary though. There are, then you will need your rags, you'll need your oil, and your oil filter, an oil wrench. Once you have all this up under there, you need to locate the bolt, your oil pan bolt. It is usually right, on some vehicles the transmission is before and then some is after the oil pan, so you need to consult with your manual or your technician to figure out which is which. Because if you undo your transmission bolt, then you have to change your transmission filter and your transmission fluid, and it's just a big hectic thing, which you do need to do about every 50,000 miles. That's also very recommended. Okay, so once you locate your oil bolt, you take your socket set, you undo the socket until it is freely out, and the oil is draining fluently. It will pour out. While the oil is draining, you can take one of your clean rags and clean the bolt to make sure that it doesn't have any sand, debris, or anything like that. Because if you get debris on that bolt, the bolt, once you put it back in, it'll go on the motor, and it can seriously do some serious damage. So once you do that, then while the oil is draining, you reach up, and you can actually consult your manual or your technician about this. You reach up and you turn with the oil wrench counterclockwise to release the oil filter. Once it is released, it will drain just a little bit, and it will also release more oil to come out of the oil pan. You will see this. Then once this is done, you can take your new oil filter, place it back up in there, twist it clockwise, make sure that it's real good and tight, because you don't want it coming loose. Now that is done, your oil should be finished, and you can replace your oil pan bolt back in there. Once that is finished, make sure that it is tightened clockwise and done tightly with your socket set. Then once that is finished, you are basically done under your vehicle. You can push everything, your rags, etc., all out from under the vehicle. You can then crawl out from under the vehicle yourself, go to the front of the vehicle, get the two main jacks beside your tires, take those out, and then you can finally release your car back down to the ground. Once you have done this, you may get into your vehicle, start it up, check for leaks, start up the vehicle. No, I'm so sorry. That is wrong. I'm sorry. I'm a little nervous here. This is my first time actually doing this. So, once you have done this, you crawl out from under the vehicle. You go to the front of the vehicle, and you pour the appropriate oil into the appropriate place. Do not pour this oil into your transmission. It will be a nightmare. Then you're going to pay hundreds of dollars to have a tow truck come tow your truck, get it fixed, and it's just really expensive. So you need to really know where you're pouring your oil. Once you pour your oil into your motor, the standard for most cars now, small sedan cars like a V6, 4-cylinder, something like that, is about 5 quarts. Now I have some friends that do drive diesels, and theirs takes about 20 quarts of oil per time. That's a lot of oil, so you do need to consult your technician or your manual to find out how many you need. Once you do this, you may get into your vehicle and start your motor. Then you can go back outside of your vehicle, check around for leaks or anything, and if you do not have any leaks, you may put your oil stick back in the appropriate place, and you close the hood, and and you can go on your way, and you can clean up. If you do have any leaks by chance, which I hope you will not, You can consult your manual for help, advice, etc. Or you can call your auto parts store and they could walk you through it. But most of the time, if you do have a leak, then you have not tightened up your oil filter or your oil bolt quite tight enough. If this is the case, you just get up under there and check it, make sure it's tight enough. If that's not the case, then sometimes when you do pour the oil into the appropriate place in the opening, then yeah, it can actually spill oil onto the side. So I hope this helps you in changing your oil, and you have a nice day. Thank you, audience.